Okay, today is December the 7th, 2015. We're watching the Northeast Pacific water vapor loop. And today we see another very large storm moving towards the west coast. And we can see that we have a very large area of high pressure that's developed right here too. And that is creating this large clockwise movement all through this area right here. We can see that all the way through down into this dry area. There's a large area of high pressure installed there to prevent a lot of this moisture from getting into California. And also we have a dry upper level low pressure system right here off of Baja, California. That is spinning counterclockwise. There's a transmitter on this area to prevent any development of that system. This only shows up on the 300 millibar chart. Now, this is generating some very, very mild offshore wind, as we can see here. There's a very, very slight wind in LA right now in the foothills, just a very slight breeze from this low pressure being positioned right next to this high right here. So that'll create a Venturi effect right through here. And that's what's happening. We can see an outflow, offshore flow right there. All right. Next thing, we have this jet stream flow moving through here, and we have a transmitter that is cutting off this flow, and we can see that happening right here. A lot of this moisture is just disappearing as it moves through this area right here, and that's because there is heat being applied by a transmitter right here, and also in the core of this new storm. This storm here is very, very large, as we can see, and it has two lows within the core. So we'll take a look at that. All right, let's take a look at the infrared loop, and we can see the intensity of this front as it moves towards the west coast. And then we have a lot of disorganized, broken up patches of moisture right here, and that's because of that high pressure that's been forced down on top of all this weather right here. There's a lot of surface high pressure in this area, and that is disrupting this flow right here as it moves into California. We can see that there's not a whole lot of weather happening in California right now. That may change, but for the moment, this high pressure is preventing our rain. We've not had one drop of rain in Southern California, despite this enormous system that just went through right here, passing through Oregon and Washington. That whole thing right there, still a lot of rain in that. And then we have this new storm right here. So we've not had any rain, and the temperature right now in Los Angeles is 60.4. We have a relative humidity of 28.6%, 28.6%, and we have a dew point of 29.1 degrees. So these numbers are not conducive for rain, and it's surprising that throughout all these, both of these storms, we had a very low humidity. Actually, this morning, the humidity was like 19%. So that's what the chemtrails will do. We had chemtrailing all day long again today in Los Angeles, and that will stop the rain. That's the 6th day in a row we've had very heavy chemtrails. All right, let's look at some of these other maps. We have the western U.S. water vapor loop. We can see that new storm right here. This has two cores inside the one big core. There's two low pressures identified. Of course, there's a HAARP transmitter right here to weaken that system. And we have this high pressure right here, which is spinning everything clockwise. And then we have that low pressure, upper level low, right here, spinning counterclockwise right off of Baja. And these two being right next to each other will generate some wind. And that's what we're seeing here. We have an offshore flow developing right here in Southern California. Very mild Santa Ana wind condition. Okay, let's look at the rainbow loop. This is the infrared loop. And there's just not a whole lot of rain happening at all anywhere in California, except maybe up in Northern California. Interesting how all this stuff moves through, but when it gets into Nevada, looks like there's a lot of rain falling in Nevada based on this satellite right here, but nothing in California. That's rather odd. Okay, let's take a look at the this is the surface analysis map, and we can see that very large storm system right here, which is got two cores, and this is spinning. This is that entire storm system we were just looking at. There's actually two separate lows identified as storms, both 962 millibar, and this thing is winding around. This low is forecast to move in one direction, and this low is going to move in a easterly direction. And then we have a large front, cold front right here, and then we have a warm front identified right here in this core, and that's actually the HAARP transmitter generating that warm front. And also right here, this purple occluded front. All of that is HAARP generated. Same with this. Let's go back again and look at the big map. And that is a result of this. They're showing a warm front right here, but in fact that is a transmitter applying heat right down into that core to weaken it. So there's actually two 962 millibar low pressure cores inside that system, as they identified here. So, but again, off the coast of California, we have a huge area of high pressure. Once again, right here. This is just like clockwork, folks. Every time you can see it again. You got two highs. One is 1,026 millibar. The other one is 1,025 millibar, and that will run all this weather to the north. Break it down and run most of the weather to the north. All right, let's look at the jet stream map. This is the 300 millibar jet stream, 30,000 foot. And we can see that most of this jet stream flow is moving right into the Washington and Oregon and just a part of Northern California. Most of it's going into Canada, a lot of it. So Southern California and Central are not getting any jet stream flow. We have high pressure shown here with these arrows moving in a clockwise fashion. And okay, and then we have this low right here, and that's spinning in the other direction, counterclockwise, and that's what's going to generate a little bit of wind, offshore winds. Okay, let's look at the wave analysis for the East Pacific. We can see that that storm offshore has two cores, and each core is generating some very high swells, 23-foot swells. And then right off of the west coast, we have 15 and 18-foot swells, 18 and 21-foot swells off of Oregon and California and Washington. So there's a lot of high seas out here. You'd never know any of this information watching Josh Rubenstein or Dallas Raines or Fritz Coleman. These guys are making six-figure salaries to fill us full of crap. And that storm I was just showing you earlier, they're not going to show that on the weather tonight. They won't show us that. That's about half the size of the United States, but they're not going to show it to us. If you want to go out boating tomorrow, good luck. If you didn't watch the weather the last few days, you might get capsized. Who knows? All right, here's a shot of the southwest. This is the water vapor loop for our area, the Southern California area right here. And we can see some of this moisture moving. This is moving clockwise around that big high pressure. And so some of that is moving down into the Southern California area. And we can also see that dry upper level low right here, which has a transmitter on it all through this area. This would become a storm right here if they didn't have that transmitter on it. That has a lot of rotation and a lot of energy in it. Here is the rainbow loop. We can see it spinning right there. Okay, let's take a look at the SSEC geostationary satellite image. We can see some of these chemtrails that have been sprayed today. All through here, this is just loaded with chemtrails all through here and all out over here. They're spraying all through here, perpendicular to the jet stream, all through here. And all through here offshore. There's that dry upper level low right there. That should be a little storm that should be delivering rain to us, but they've killed that off. All right, let's look at the MODIS today map. This shows this is a color satellite showing the chemtrail activity over the southern part of the state, and we can see right over the Channel Islands they've been spraying. Big trail right here. We've got some real clouds intermixed among all this chemtrail crap. Here's San Diego. Here's some chemtrail clouds down here. Here are some real clouds. These are actually white clouds. The real white stuff is the genuine clouds, and the off-white, hazy stuff is the chemtrail mix. Let's go up a little bit further north and we can really see the activity going on, spraying all through here. Okay, so they were busy all day today, and I believe that tomorrow, based on the satellite tonight, we will see more chemtrails tomorrow in the Southern California area. So let's go ahead and take a look at the, this is the 500 millibar chart. We can see that big low pressure storm right here. There's actually two lows within that core, and they're spinning, kind of spinning around each other. Okay, and then we have these isobars. Everything's running right into the west coast, except for the surface high pressure, which is redirecting everything in a clockwise manner down here. Let's look at the 300 millibar. And we can see that upper level low right here. That's what that is right there, that little blip right there. And we have some high pressure right here. So we've got the low, and then we've got some high, and that's probably the HAARP transmitter showing up right there. And we've got another low indicated right here. But this is probably the HAARP transmitter, that thing right there, right next to this. I don't have a vertical velocity map. I don't know where those, how to access those, but that's what this is. Okay, so that's pretty much the summary for today. We will keep an eye on everything and do another update tomorrow. Okay, thanks for watching.